here's something that you didn't know. 2 of those special atomic bombs haven't gone off.
Okay, so for anybody watching live on YouTube, welcome to fantaCTE. Welcome back to fantaCTE. If you guys watch us regularly, thank you for watching. If you would like to write in any questions, we will answer your questions. Just write in on the chat, and I can see what you guys write, and then we'll get to your questions whenever. Once again, my name is Nick Masick. I'll be your host. Our co-hosts on the upper left-hand corner, from all the way from Miami, we've got Lonnie Cox. The bottom left-hand corner, your other co-host, is Vital DeJuiced, and introducing our special guest tonight from work at the Tin Roof in Delray. You can catch this guy. He's actually a comedian, performs all over Florida. He's been all over. Have you been outside of Florida? Have you ever toured outside of Florida?
I wouldn't use the word toured, but I've been in New York. Yes, I've played in New York.
All right. So this guy, seasoned comedian. He's featured at the Palm Beach Improv, among other places. Anthony Terzo. Welcome, Anthony.
Thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Good to have you. Anthony, you're opening for Rodney Carrington, right?
We just got done with the weekend. We did Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was awesome.
How was that?
He's so great, man. He's been doing it such a long time. He has so much stuff, man. Like, I think it's the first guy I've been with that I've done like that many shows with, where every show was essentially different. I mean, he still had his like hitters in there, but in terms of playing music and like doing, I mean, every show was nuts. He has so much material. So
did he do the titty song? Did all the girls show their tits?
Oh my god, we had a pair. So we had a pair of titties every single show, at least. It was amazing.
Yeah. Like before I got into comedy, you know, my dad was a big, my dad's from Texas. So my dad was a big like Jeff Foxworthy kind of guy. Yeah. So I've been a fan of Rodney Carrington since I was like 8 or 9 years old. So like,
he has a cult following.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it was nuts.
So it was dope.
Yeah, it was really cool, man. It was really cool to perform that in front of those kind of people. You know what I mean? Like, it was definitely a totally different type of clientele. Well, I guess clientele, but whatever. Yeah, type of people that to do my comedy in front of, and you know, it was interesting, but it was fun.
How was it? Did it go well?
Yeah, it was good. I pandered them a little bit. I came out to I don't know if you guys are wrestling fans, but I came out to Hulk Hogan's theme song. That American song, I don't know how it's called, but they all went.
I am a real American.
Yeah, and that's all it took, and then they liked me. So a little bit of patriotism went a long way with them. So
sure,
yeah, it was fun, man.
Nice.
But one thing I like more than comedy is fantasy football.
Bro, look at that segues.
So talk to us, man. Tell me. No, the first thing we want to hear about. Tell me about, so you're not in our league this year. I invited you, but you said you have too much other shit going on with being a degenerate gambler and whatnot.
Yeah, I just have 3 leagues, not too much. I know we're all fucking busy. I hit my 3 max, but I might have to do a 4th one if you guys are doing like podcasts and stuff where you guys are really into it. I'm like a nerd, so. All
right, so tell us about your other leagues. Your league.
So I have 3 leagues. I have a 10 team, a 12 team, and a 14 team. 2 of them half PPR, 1 PPR. One's a cousin, 2 are cousin leagues, and then one's like a friend league. We've been doing all of them. I've been around for years. And yeah, that's, what do you want to know? Like my record and stuff?
Pretty solid. Oh yeah, we want to find out how you're doing so far, because we're all going to talk about that. We're like, this is crunch time.
Cool. This is fun, man. Yeah, it's the final stretch, right? Last 3 weeks before the playoffs.
The grind is getting to me. All right, so your 2 cousins leagues, one of your buddies leagues, you said, or a friend's league. Yeah. One thing I want to ask you about. So like, I told you a little bit about our league, I think. So we got 10 comedians from South Florida that are all in our league. It's the 3 of us, Jay Guy, Stephanie Wood, Warren Scott, Rob Callert, and Sean Mullins. Who else am I leaving out? Oh, Steve Lamb.
Yeah, I think that's 10 right there.
And Cam Bertrand. That's
I know all of them. Okay.
Yeah, you
How's
know
that going?
It's what?
Yeah. How's that going?
It's fun. It's been, well, so Lonnie's
fun for me, not so fun for the other 2.
Lonnie's killing it. Me and Vital are in the basement. Like, I'm on a 4-game losing streak right now. It's brutal. I haven't won a game since Dak Prescott got hurt.
Oh.
And I also have Christian McCaffrey, who's only played in one of those games, I think, since Dak got hurt. Chris Godwin's been out most of it. My team's been banged.
Oh, yeah.
Vital also, you've been dealing with injuries too all year, right?
Yeah, man. Well, I just got Michael Thomas back, and I expected a good game from him. He's subpar right now. I don't know. And then Russell Wilson's been choking the last 2 games. I should have fucking sat him. That's what cost me. I should have sat him, bro.
Yeah.
Can't blame yourself for that.
Ugh.
You can.
Choked, bro. I'm going through it.
Who's your other quarterback, Vital?
Wilson. No, I don't have a backup on QB.
It's been streaming.
Okay.
I had Tannehill for a while.
That's right.
Right.
I made the enormous mistake, and I'm not out of it yet. I have a chance. We'll talk about what we need tonight. If you need anything in any of your leagues, and you can possibly win tonight. But I made the enormous mistake. I benched Roethlisberger for Jared Goff.
I saw that,
dude.
Why? Why'd you do that? Because he was coming off of the COVID list.
Because the Seahawks defense is setting a record for being the worst defense ever, and Roethlisberger had
division games, bro. You can't count on it.
I know.
When it's too obvious, back off.
Yeah, exactly.
And
unless it's the Jets.
Yeah, always the Jets.
Yeah, you can commit.
I told myself after last week that I was just going to leave Roethlisberger in for the rest of the season. Like, no matter who he plays, no matter what happens, I'm just going to fucking leave him in because their offense is clicking. The Steelers throw it in the red zone, and the Rams run it in the red zone. Like, I got fucked because Goff had almost as many yards as him, but 0 touchdowns. So,
yeah.
Anyway, I got screwed. So what about you? What's going on with your leagues, Anthony? Where are you at?
Okay, so first I'll talk about I guess I'll talk about the league I'm doing well in.
Well,
I just dropped to 7-3. I lost it this week. 7-2, had to bye. Made the crucial mistake of starting Jarvis Landry over DJ Moore, and that's going to be the difference in the game.
Yeah.
Just try getting cute, looking at defenses and what they were, and
sure.
I'm playing the worst team in the league, so I figured I'd go for a little bit of upside just to get some points. That's the one thing I'm really looking forward to right now is tiebreaker stuff. It looks like I'm going to be in the playoffs. I'm blessed to have Kyler Murray in that league as my quarterback. Been dealing with running back problems with just injuries. I have Miles Sanders and Joe Mixon, so those two have been getting one's hurt 1 week, one's hurt the other week, and they're both out for 2 weeks. I think I have a whole bunch of wide receiver twos that are okay. So Amari Cooper, Juju Smith, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk. Just a lot of those guys in that same area. I have no really top guy.
Right.
But all those guys really just been doing what they can. And I have TJ Hawkinson as my tight end, who's been just giving me like a touchdown every single week. It's been awesome. So that's been my best league. I'm 7-3 now. And the other 2 leagues, I'm 5-5 after winning both this week. One of them, I'm number 2 in points scored.
Funny, he mentioned being 5-5, but second most in points scored. Because in my cousin's league, I'm in the same spot. Like, this week, I'm losing this week. I'm going to be 5-5, second most points scored in the league. I'm not that worried about making the playoffs because of that. Like, it's in that mid range. But man, it's rough. Like, I think I'm most.
But that's got to give you confidence. That just means you got scored on.
I just got scored on, which has been the same situation for me and Vital. Like, I'm a top 4 scoring team in our league. I've just been getting, running up
demolished.
Dude, it's like the luck of the draw, man. I mean, the weeks that I played, when I played Cam, he just happened to have a down week. Cam has been had some, like, I think he had a 200-point week, maybe 2. But the week that I played him,
nasty.
His team hasn't been. They haven't been doing as well. His team hasn't.
Not as well, no.
He's been sliding a little bit. They haven't been as consistent. He got lucky on a couple wins, I think, as well.
Yeah, we all have, honestly. I think our points have been going down quite a bit, like across the board. I was averaging like 160, 170, which is high. I think I'm number 2 in points scored, or number 1 now.
1 or 2, yeah.
But you know what? Actually, I am number 1 by quite a bit. I looked the other day, and I think I'm like 100 points.
You haven't had any injuries, I feel like.
Well, I had Dalvin Cook,
but that wasn't for very long.
No. But I've been blessed. The only thing that really screwed me over this season is Lamar Jackson. I got him high. I got him in the 2nd round.
Yeah.
And I probably passed on some pretty good quarterbacks. But luckily I got Deshaun Watson, who Sean cut for seemingly no reason. And I've been able to like flip-flop them depending on the weeks. I didn't trade him, which turned out to be a good move. A lot of people wanted to trade me for Deshaun Watson. Didn't pull the trigger, which is probably going to end up giving me that 1st round bye, which I'm really, really looking forward to. So
Yeah, you're in good shape. You do have to play Steve, I think, one more time though, and Steve's team is hot right now.
Steve's team is hot, but I think right now I have the tiebreaker over Stephanie and Cam, so I think pretty much I'm going to win this week. And I think no matter what, I should hold on to the first place unless I just have a total collapse, which is still possible.
But you're going to get a first round bye, probably
regardless. So I'll either be number 1 or number 2.
So Anthony, I got to ask you, because we have a last place penalty in our league. You guys, do you do any of that with your leagues?
We've been trying to integrate it. I think they just get too like crazy, and then like by the time it happens, like no one's like be naked in the middle of the highway. Like no one's really gonna do that. You know what I mean? Like fantasy sucks. I suck at fantasy. I'm like on their ass. But so we always ask too much. But it's something I really want to consider. So people who are losing like still kind of want to play and have something to play for. So I always agree with doing something like that. What's your last place prize?
All right. So our last place. So we have 6 teams that make the playoffs, 4 teams that are in the losers bracket, and the losers bracket is a playoff in and of itself. So it's like a toilet bowl playoff. Like if you lose, you advance to the losers round, and then so basically it's 2 weeks of losers bracket playoffs. Last year we did a 5-minute knock joke set at an open mic. And it was Warren Scott. I'll send you the video, man. It's pretty fucking.
Warren did really good.
Yes, that's actually hilarious. That's
so funny. It was great. So this year we're doing a 5-minute spoken word poem at an open mic as the penalty. So this is one of the reasons that the league is comedians only and trying to keep it local comics, because we all want to be able to go. We want to have the option of going to watch this. And the person who loses doesn't get to choose like the jokes or the poem. The winner of the losers bracket gets to either write the jokes or select the poem or write the poem or whatever the fuck it is. But
I really hope whoever chooses the poem, I just thought of this, but I hope that it's like of some variety of like the death slam poetry and it's super black. Like I hope that it's a white person and it's a very, very like African heritage poem of the like. Have you ever seen the Knock Knock one? Like this like really gut-wrenching, emotional, teardrop black poem for a hopefully white Jewish comedian who has to end up and they have to really sell it. I like Anthony. I like that ours is like it's like not crazy enough so that people are like, no, I'm not doing that. Yeah. But it is like embarrassing enough that people really need to like play to not want it to happen. It's like right in the middle. It's a good sweet spot.
I'm probably not. If I lose this week, I'm probably out of the playoffs. It's not definite because there's a lot of teams that are in that middle lower range.
Yeah, I think there's 4 teams that are in 7th place.
Dude, they're like going into this week. I think there were 6 teams with losing records. So we're within one game of each other. Now
our whole team is like our whole league is like the NFC East.
It's brutal. It's really so. But anyway, but I picked up. Sean dropped Kenny Galladay. Sean's been dropping.
I had
him on the waiver too.
Johnny Appleseed.
Keep him in the league.
I don't. Now Galladay wasn't playing this week, but Sean, I don't think understands. I also added
the number 1 wide receiver.
He's the number.
Does he know all the players have bye weeks? Is he just dropping them once he says bye? He just like actually cuts them.
I think he was hurt.
I don't know. He doesn't understand how injured reserve works. He didn't realize what a keeper league meant. We're doing potentially 1 keeper each for next.
We had to explain to him how the waiver wire priority worked this year.
No idea. Like he just.
You guys do free agent waiver wire or just
agent. No, we don't do the bidding.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's only the 2nd year of this league, and there's a number of people who had never played before last year. And then we added a couple new ones this year who weren't really. It's such a new league. I'm not trying to put any of like the really high level stuff in yet, but we're gonna get to that eventually. Like as the league matures, well, I'll make the degree of difficulty is going to go up. I did put 2 starting running back positions though this year, which is last year we had more flexes, so that was a challenge.
So what is your setup?
It's 2 running backs. It's full PPR. We went from half to full this year. But going up to full PPR, I made it 2 required running back positions. So that way running backs aren't devalued too much. Like you still have to pay attention and need running backs, even if they're not scoring as much. 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, a quarterback, a tight end.
2 flexes.
1 flex. Oh, there's 1 running back wide receiver flex, 1 regular flex.
Okay, so
and a defense. Yeah, it's pretty close to standard, but like with maybe 1 extra flex position, I think. It's been good. It's good. It's been challenging, but I also added 3 injured reserve spots when we usually do 1, because I didn't know it was like a COVID contingency, and Sean has still not figured out the injured reserves. Just keeps dropping his best.
Yeah, he dropped Saquon Barkley too, and we're playing a keeper league, so I'm gonna hold on to him.
Yeah, if we keep the same number, which I doubt. I bet we're gonna add players next year. So we're probably not going to do keepers. I'm disappointed too because I have McCaffrey, man. It's just how it is. You can't change the number of teams and do keepers. It doesn't.
Yeah, you're right.
Not fair. Yeah. So anyway, we'll see what happens with that. But one of the biggest differences, besides our last place penalty, is our tiebreakers are head to head instead of point totals. So every single matchup is like crucial, regardless of what your points are. And that's why I'm fucked this week if I lose to Jay Guy, because he will have beaten me twice. And he's like,
oh, your head record is what the
first tiebreaker. So anyway, that's the roundup. That's basically our league and what's happening with it. Let's talk about, you guys want to talk, what about the actual games jumped out at you from this week, or are you fantasy or otherwise? Like, is there anything, what'd you guys like about watching football this week?
Dude, it was
looking bleak. I could buy a Tua jersey.
Wait. Yeah. Did you buy
I feel good about buying a Tua jersey now. Like, I'm sold. Hey, he's playing, man.
Dude, I just appreciate the leftiness. Being a lefty myself, I think he's like the 3rd lefty in like 10 years, 12 years. They just do not make it in the NFL.
Because you have to change the whole offense. The whole, guys that were playing left tackle, and they now have to play right tackle. Guys that were it's a whole, it really is very complicated.
The pass progression now is to the other way, like counterclockwise.
Yep. It's very complicated.
I mean, all those receivers going through all their, for the most part, I'm sure, always had a right-handed quarterback. So now the ball's coming from a different angle. It's coming from a different side. But it seems to be working, man.
The spin is also in a different direction. It's little things that you don't even think about.
Yeah, at that level, all that stuff matters.
Yeah.
I wonder if they look at ever guys in a draft who had played with a left-handed, because there's probably more, college quarterbacks. There's probably at least a handful of left-handed college quarterbacks. But I wonder if they're looking at guys, if they look more specifically at players who played with left-handed quarterbacks when they're talking about drafting guys.
That's pretty
right.
I mean, it would make sense.
Are there a lot in college even though?
No, probably not. But I bet there's like 1 or 2 every year, like a handful, maybe. I don't know. Now I want to look into it. Interesting. Did you guys see the DeAndre Hopkins play? The Hail Mary?
Yeah, dude.
I did see it. Yes.
What a stud.
Oh, that's right. You have him.
And I benefited from it greatly.
That's right. It looked for a minute like Sean was going to beat you.
Yeah. Did you guys, I don't know if you guys saw that, but
I thought he was.
Through the 3rd quarter, I was down. And I kept, every time I checked, I was, the point spread kept getting big. But then Chase Claypool scored 2 touchdowns late in the 4th. DeAndre Hopkins scored that touchdown. Keenan Allen scored a touchdown. It really, I was like, okay, I'm all right. Let's see. The games aren't over yet. Everybody pulled through. Everybody on my team, except for Jared Cook. 0 points.
Well, Breeze got hurt. I don't know if that's going to make a difference for Cook or not.
Yeah, he's got fractured ribs, punctured lung.
Really?
Yeah.
He's done for a couple of weeks. That just came out a couple hours ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So Jameis Winston's coming in?
Jameis Winston.
I mean, there's worse backups out there, that's for sure.
That's true. Yeah, of course.
He's always been a good fantasy. I mean, he may lose the game, but he puts up numbers.
He slings the rock. It's kind of like Fitzpatrick. All your wide receivers value have to go up in a sense. I don't know. Didn't he loved the tight end back in Tampa Bay? Does that mean Jared Cook gets more involved, or do they kind of stick with the Saints game plan of getting Michael Thomas?
Usually whenever a quarterback is new, the tight end value always increases because the tight end is the first person they see. It's he's right in front of your face. So
Yeah.
usually the tight end is like the first relationship that starts to get built from a quarterback in a new offense. So, it could see their value go up quite a bit. I think OJ Howard was the tight end in Tampa Bay, and they had a great relationship.
Yeah.
He made Cameron great, like relevant.
Right.
But he does like to throw it down the field too. So whoever's going deep, that's what Jameis likes to do. He likes to take shots.
It's true.
I'm excited to see it. Yeah, that's gonna affect somebody's fantasy team. This is a cool thing. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but Tom Brady passed Jerry Rice for all-time fantasy scoring leader.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Number one fantasy, which I actually found out. I think I was looking at like some trivia stuff. I was surprised to find out that Jerry Rice was the all-time leader in fantasy points. But I guess it makes sense, such a long career or whatever. But yeah, Brady passed him this week. Huge bounce back game for the Bucs. Did you guys see that at all?
Yeah,
I did. I actually watched that game.
Yeah, that was a good. It was
close for a while.
Yeah, it was
but then they took off on him.
And then Brady just started balling out. You knew that was coming. I felt like after last week.
Yeah.
They were doing.
I just want to say though that Bridgewater is such a good quarterback. He's so good.
Dude. He stepped in really good.
Yeah,
I agree. I think once he gets McCaffrey back full time, that's going to be a tough team to beat.
Sure.
Having him as a weapon out of the backfield and Bridgewater, the way he plays, he's very solid, very consistent.
Carolina is really good at drafting Cam type quarterbacks, or not drafting or picking up. Like he filled in a really good spot where almost exact Cam play, not as big, but like I think even tougher than like Cam actually. Bridgewater is going deep in.
He's more consistent, I think, and he's more accurate than Cam.
He's a better quarterback than Cam Newton, I would say. Like a bet.
That's not even saying much anymore. Saying he looks better than Cam. He does not look good this year. He just looks so bad.
Cam, we also had COVID, so I
Jackson.
don't know like what we're seeing. I think a lot of what we're seeing with Cam Newton is probably after. Like we don't know what COVID's doing to your lungs and stuff like that. So they did win last night though.
They look pretty good. He looked pretty good last night.
That was the best game of the season for sure.
He's built for that kind of game too. He's built for a like slippery, muddy, like old school football type.
That was just
style.
fun to watch.
Yeah, that was a good game. I enjoyed it, and they're Patriots back in the mix. I mean, they designed a really good offense for him, and I think that's definitely going to help.
And their defense is really overperforming considering how many guys opted out. Like they're pretty good. I mean, but what do you expect? It's Bill Belichick, man.
Yeah, but they got an undrafted rookie who's like the number 1 rated defensive back in the league.
Always.
J.C.
Every
Jackson.
year. What's his name?
J.C. Jackson. They said last night he's got the most interceptions of any corner in the league, and he's an undrafted rookie. But they keep going at him. Quarterbacks keep throwing at him because they've got and he just keeps making plays. So I don't know. I mean, it's almost like the Josh.
That's the NFL, bro. That's the way it goes.
It's crazy though. Like undrafted rookie. How did everybody miss on him? So
and they were saying that like Stephon Gilmore is in the decline this year also. So
he's been injured a lot too.
Okay.
So that's partly why. I don't know.
See, you keep up with the injuries a lot more than I do. I'm not always like in tune to like who's injured. I do know like who's on their slump and who's on the rise, but the injuries I'm not always super connected to like why they're not playing well,
Yeah, and that is one of those things. Speaking of injuries, well, is there any other like football stuff or fantasy football stuff that jumped out at you guys from this week, or anything else you want to bring up before we start talking about some injuries and some waivers?
Go Giants! Another good win, real quick. Just touch on them.
You Giants
They really don't look all that bad, and that's been tough. But you know what? We went from like let's try to be the number 1 seed for Trevor Lawrence, but now it's like after winning 2 division games in a row, and in that league, like, and that division, it's like. Once you get in the playoffs, anything can happen. So, we're at this point, I'm just like, okay, let's just try to win a couple games.
So, I am not super plugged into the Giants. I'm full disclosure, I am a Cowboys fan, so the Giants can suck my dick. But
vice versa,
right? At least you're not an Eagles fan. That's all I have to say.
That's true. We can both agree on that.
Right? Exactly. The Eagles are by far the worst team in all professional sports across the entire planet. But why is the Daniel Jones experiment over? Like, why is everybody like done with Daniel Jones?
That's typical in New York. You get about 2 games to figure it out, and you just get kicked to the curb. He's having a really
good run, though.
Yeah, the way he's been running has been amazing. So I think I'm not really sold yet. I'm not ready to throw him off like most fans are. I mean, they were kicking Eli Manning out for 10 years, even though he won 2 Super Bowls. I mean,
I know.
If you he just has a really bad. He turns the ball up over every game. But I think like a little more development and like they just drafted a 1st-round pick. This year was a lineman. I think like let the line like I don't know, man. They were so quick to jump away, and I think he still got a chance. And some balls he throws look like perfect.
Yeah, I mean he looks like a natural arm talent, and he's athletic. I think he ran a 4.5 in the 40. He's athletic as shit. But the problem, I think the problem is in the NFL, man, is like the quarterback gets blamed for a lot of the problems of a team. And if you don't have a good defense and a good offensive line, it's not the quarterback's fault. You know what I mean? Like you have a rookie quarterback that needs to throw the ball 35 times a game. Of course he's going to make mistakes,
Yeah, there's been a chance. Absolutely. Yeah.
He actually didn't do that bad this past week.
Right.
They won. They beat the Eagles, and he was pretty good. I know this because one of our segments, Anthony, is I'd rather have Kaepernick than, where we all pick the worst quarterback of the week. And I picked Daniel Jones has been on that list just about every single week. One of us is picking Danny Jones, and I picked him this week, and I lost because he did pretty well. Slightly better than Philip Rivers. So I don't know if he's going to get picked in that segment. Well, that's one of the.
I never remember who I picked. Who did I pick?
So you picked. You won. You picked Jake Luton against Jaguars' backup quarterback against the Packers. And he was pretty bad. They actually,
of course,
he had a chance to come back and win the game at the end, but yeah, he got beat up. Vital picked Philip Rivers, and he did pretty well. Like honestly, Rivers and Daniel Jones both scored more fantasy points than Jared Goff, who was my actual fantasy quarterback this week, which that really ate me up.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, they both scored like just under 20, I think. So that was pretty good.
Deshaun Watson scored 13 points for me this week. So,
I have Drew Lock in 11.
Any given Sunday.
Drew Lock is
he threw like 5 interceptions. Like,
I don't know. I can't figure out Drew Lock. 2 weeks in a row.
Up and down, bro.
He had 30 points 2 weeks in a row, over 30, and then last week. No.
I don't know.
One thing I do notice is that the weeks that Drew Lock does well, Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay also do well. So I think you see if the running game is non-existent for the Broncos, then the teams are just able to rush 3 and put 8 guys in coverage because they don't have to worry about Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay. But if they're hitting, they're doing well. I noticed that Drew Lock's stock goes up quite a bit.
It also may have something to do with the fact that they're both good pass catching backs. Those guys can both be 3-down backs. Like they both catch the ball out of the backfield and can make things happen. So that could be part of the effect of that as well. But
sure.
They do. Yeah. When they're doing well, he's doing well. And the whole team does well. Those guys make that offense go. So as far as, that's another injury though. Drew Lock is out. Not that most of anybody should really be playing Drew Lock on their fantasy team, but it is going to affect our worst quarterback picks, and you can play along with us, Anthony, if you want to pick a bad quarterback this week. It's fun. Let's see, what else do we have? So as far as those are some key injuries. McCaffrey was out again this week from a shoulder injury, which fucking I did. I just need to get him back on the field.
He's going to be out again.
Is he really?
Yeah.
I should have traded him earlier this year. Maybe I still can trade him. I don't know if I should.
Killing me too.
That's the problem though. And now I'm past the point of I want to make the playoffs. Now I'm at the point where, I don't want the last place penalty. So I'm going to hold on to McCaffrey for the losers bracket. Yeah. It does change the league a little bit. And we also push our trade deadline back. So our trade deadline isn't until right before the fantasy playoffs start.
So you can basically trade during the whole season.
The whole regular season, trades are allowed because everybody's still trying to win, even in the losers bracket. So. But
I like that too. Motherfuckers don't trade anyway, honestly. Everyone's declined.
How many have you guys gotten trades done in your league? Let me ask you, because it's tough.
Yeah, we got a couple.
Yeah, a couple went through.
So I actually
did vote.
We don't do vote. I just. Okay. So the nice thing about having a last place penalty also is nobody's really tanking, nobody's colluding because everybody's kind of in it to win it the whole way through. Mm-hmm. It's a real collusion prevention tool is having a last place penalty that people are scared of. I traded for Roethlisberger. I didn't play him this week, but I did trade for him. Ronald Jones, I think I traded when Jones was What do you
last
think?
Week? You saw that. You saw that play, right?
Yeah.
98-yard touchdown run.
Holy shit.
I'm a Fournette owner, so it's like.
Which
Ronald Jones, isn't he like probably the highest valued running back? Isn't he like top 5?
I would say easily.
Yeah, but that's
because Melvin Gordon has huge games.
That's a skewed statistic though, because since Fournette's come back, he hasn't been as valuable. Like he was having huge games, and then Fournette came back, and they've been balancing between the two of them a lot more.
But Fournette's been underperforming big time, isn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, the whole team was underperforming for a couple of games, so
sure.
Like one
game. They put a bad game together, I think, earlier this year too. Anyway, but yeah, so I traded Jones for Roethlisberger. Fine, great trade. But yeah, we haven't had any real blockbusters. There was a couple people tried to trade me for McCaffrey, and I didn't go for it earlier in the season.
I think it's weird, like when like players like McCaffrey, like I know in my leagues, like when someone's out of the playoffs, their trades start like because we do vote. Because things get weird when like McCaffrey's name, someone with such high potential, gets like traded to another team that's now like a playoff team, and then like now McCaffrey all of a sudden isn't back in the playoffs and someone else's team. Causes a lot of like.
Oh, dude. There's a lot of I know like because you start talking, was it collusion? Is he making a deal with this guy? And the reason I didn't trade McCaffrey is because I don't want to lose in the losers bracket. I'm not like out of it and I don't give a fuck. But that's another thing about having one keeper, which I'm a fan of having one keeper, is you don't see those guys get traded, even if they're
like that.
Yeah,
we might have to add that. Yeah, we were thinking about like adding keeper or doing dynasty and like really nerding out because dynasty like then you're like on fantasy football all year round. But yeah, it's funny. Like you always know what's being traded on the outside. You know, what I mean, hey, I'll give you $50 like outside. Like we have Supreme Pat. We play with Supreme Patty in one of our leagues.
What's that?
And he made a joke.
The world star guy.
You're so old.
Yeah, he's gonna shout out someone on his Instagram if they make a trade for him. So everyone's like, oh, hold on, wait, like I'll trade you. So we're like, whoa, wait, no. Like no outside forces should implement the league. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Just keep it in the league, but
So the way we do our keepers, or we will do our keepers if eventually we get to the point where we're stable for a couple of years, is one keeper. And if you want, you can do one keeper, but it only counts for your first round draft pick. So if you want to keep one guy, you can, but it's your first pick. So
I like
you're only
that.
keeping the best of the best.
So if it blew up in your face, you can just be like, I'm not taking any keeper, and now you have a first round pick.
Yeah. And also doing inverse draft order. So if you had the worst team, you get the first pick.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, all right. Okay.
So, but you still have the option, and you can not take your keeper. But then if it just happens to be that's the guy that falls to you, you can still that's happened before too in leagues that I'm in.
Any first round picks really blow up anyone's face this year? I think all first round picks necessarily.
Saquon.
Good.
Oh, dude. I mean, my first round pick was Dalvin Cook, and I would have pulled the trigger on literally any of the first three. I had the fourth pick, and I would have pulled the trigger on literally any of the first three that were available, and all three of them. So it was Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, and Ezekiel Elliott. If I would have had the chance to get any of those, I would have pulled the trigger, and it would have been a bad move. So I've gotten really lucky on a couple of my avails. It's
the way the chips fall sometimes. I mean, the fourth pick in our league, in the Cousins League, was Dalvin Cook as well. Same top three went. Fourth spot, Dalvin Cook was the guy, and wow, that guy's been. I think he's been the best player in fantasy this year.
Yeah, I also got really lucky with my defense. So the last 2 years, last year I had the Patriots defense, which ended up being the best fantasy scoring defense of all time. And then this year I have the Colts, who are scoring. I think average they're scoring 12 points a game. Yeah. So amazing. I've just gotten really lucky in terms of the unluckiest thing that's happened to me is Lamar Jackson, but I haven't had any serious injuries. Knock on wood.
Survivor Sunday, baby. You got to be careful. It can happen to anyone.
That's right.
You guys have kickers?
Yeah.
Do you believe in kickers?
I believe in kickers. I think it's fun. It's a fun element to pay attention to. Do you like kickers?
Sure.
We kicked them out 2 years ago.
You did. Interesting.
Yeah. I'm just wondering if you guys did. I always want to know what's your thought behind it? Like they're a part of the game, so we're gonna play them in fantasy. Yeah.
It's an element. Yeah.
It's tough to lose.
It's like any position. You know, you've got like 3 or 4 guys that are very, very good that play for high scoring teams that are going to get you a lot of points. So their value goes up and down based on how their team is doing. I think it's an important element of fantasy football to me, at least.
Yeah, I've definitely had kickers win me games.
Oh, for sure.
That's right. I think that's what like made them cancel the kickers. I think people hated losing to kickers having 20 points.
It's just like real life. Sometimes that little kicker will fuck up the whole game.
Yeah. So the way we have it set up in ours is you get -1 if they miss a kick, but the longer the kicks that they make are, the more points you get. So like a 50-yarder is a 5-point kick field goal, I think.
Right.
If he misses a 50-yarder, it's only -1. So he's more likely to miss it. The way I set it up with the bonus points for kickers, I feel like it adds value to the better kickers to prioritize them when it comes to just to make people pay a little more attention to it. I like it. Our defenses score a little bit more potentially than some of the than other regular defenses, but not a lot. So
defense has been very tough this year. Like, unless you got like one of those top guys like the Colts or the Steelers, for example. I think this year has been the most points scored through this many weeks of the season. I think maybe no crowd maybe played a part in that. So like if you didn't have one of those top 2, top 3 defenses, you've probably been having a hard time sledding a lot of times.
Also, no preseason. I think that really affected the defenses also because you'll see like every year defenses start getting tighter. They start getting better at tackling as the season progresses because they're not tackling in practice anymore. So you'll see that like as we start getting to November, December, it's going to get colder. The ball is going to get the dynamics of the offenses are going to start shifting a little bit. The defenses are going to get a lot tighter. So, you know, usually is right around now in the season when defenses start getting better. But we didn't have the preseason, so you can add a couple weeks to that dynamic of football.
Sure.
Yeah.
Could be happening later.
And kind of just walk around to the field and the game's counted. I mean,
that's
tough.
right.
Yeah.
They're also starting to let fans in the stadiums a little bit more. And
a lot more, yeah.
That's going to affect things too with the crowd noise because, like you're saying, like without crowd noise, there's not as much of a defensive advantage to home teams like you see normally. So,
agreed.
Yeah. All right, so let's talk waiver targets for this week because some people may have lost quarterback and Drew Brees or somebody else. Couple quarterbacks that I like going next week. Tannehill's got a tough matchup, but he's been pretty consistent. Tua, I think, they got Denver next week, and that's a pretty nice matchup, I think, for Tua if you need a quarterback. Cam Newton's playing against Houston. I know we were talking Cam Newton, but Houston has a terrible defense.
Yeah.
And after the way that they performed last night, I think Cam could be a pretty decent play. Mm-hmm. And then how about Alex?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Deshaun Watson, I expect him to score me quite a bit of points in that matchup there.
Patriots? Yeah.
Yeah.
That could be an interesting game. And then the other one is Alex Smith against the Bengals next week.
Alex Smith put up 390 yards.
I don't know if he's ever done that before.
Isn't a terrible QB. He's never been bad.
Never been bad.
No. He's just got.
He's like Fitzpatrick with a little bit better chances. You know, like he's been on a little bit better teams than Fitzpatrick.
Weren't they down like 27-10 or some shit, and he just he brought them all the way back. It was pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't win, but he did. He came back. He brought him back. He played really well. He looked like the old Alex Smith, but not the old Alex Smith, like the kind of old Alex Smith.
The young old Alex Smith.
Yeah, exactly. Like the better Alex Smith.
Wasn't he the first pick in the draft?
He was.
Fresno State, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I know he was Reggie Bush's quarterback in high school.
In high school, okay, big difference. Okay, yeah.
And they actually ran a triple option, so he didn't get a lot of offers coming out of high school. Like he was a triple option quarterback, so he didn't really throw the ball that much in high school. Just a little history for you.
He didn't throw the ball a whole lot when he first came into the NFL either. Like
he still doesn't throw the ball on the NFL.
Yeah, well,
more than 10 yards out of field.
And next week he's got the Bengals. I bet he throws the ball a lot against them. He actually might be a good play next week. So I like him there. Running back help if you need it. Wayne Gallman had another game. Like he looked good. We're talking waiver pickups if you're looking for somebody. Rex Burkhead had another 2-touchdown game. He's just their red zone guy, I think.
Yeah.
Like they just put him in to score touchdowns, and he's good at it. He does score touchdowns. But then the other running back for the Patriots, Harris.
David Harris looks awesome. I would say pick him up in all of your leagues if it's open.
Yeah.
You have a running quarterback in Cam Newton, which helps running backs.
Yeah.
The Patriots love to like kind of run the ball, control the temp, because Cam Newton's not going to go out there and throw 40 times a game. Harris has ran for over 100 yards 2 times the past 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're getting 22 carries like I did last week, it's hard to find anyone who's getting 22 carries. It's probably a handful of guys, and they're all drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
Aaron Jones, Jamal Sanders, all your workhorse running backs, and I'm seeing Damian Harris become a workhorse running back. I think Burkhead will always kind of have a play with the pass catching a little bit, but he's got to fade a little bit. I mean, it's Rex Burkhead. I mean, it's not like
but the problem is Rex Burkhead he's just got a nose for the end zone. He's one of those guys, and you could see it last night. Like, when they needed to pick up a couple yards, when they needed to get a touchdown, that's when they put Burkhead in, and he just has that way about him. He's not the workhorse back, but man, is he good in those clutch moments. He punched
that catch too is really good. From the receiver to the touchdown to him. Crazy catch.
Burkhead? Oh yeah, he had that crazy catch. You're right. Yeah, that's the only thing that hurts Harris's value. But I think both of those guys have value going into this week against the Texans. I think they both deserve potentially a roster spot, especially if you got guys hurt and banged up. Who else had a good game? Again, Devontae Booker for the Raiders. Josh Jacobs had a killer game. Jay Guy left him on the bench, so I can't be too upset about leaving Roethlisberger on the bench. He scored 30 points, and Devontae Booker scored 20 points. So he's still getting touches. He's a little touchdown dependent, but he did score twice. He might be worth looking at. And then Ahmed, is he the guy for the
Dolphins.
For the Dolphins? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if he's gonna be playing next week.
I went against him this week.
You did, yeah. That's wild.
Actually, you know who played pretty well was Kalen Ballage for the Chargers. He actually
he looked good too. He looked better than any
he
other
looks
one.
good.
Yeah, he had a good. I don't know if he's available. He's not available in our league or any of the other leagues that I'm in. I'm in 2 other leagues too.
Tough to find.
Yeah,
I think Ahmed is someone you need to pick up too, man. I think that guy. I mean, we're all in Florida, so I'm sure you guys are your Dolphins. Lonnie, are you you're a Cowboy fan? Are you guys Dolphins?
I mean, I'm a Cowboys fan, but I appreciate the Dolphins. You know, they're my home. I mean,
at least until Gaskin comes back, he looks like he's the man. I mean, they cut Jordan Howard this morning.
They just got Jordan Howard, yeah.
Wow.
So
Poor Jordan Howard, man.
I guess
that guy he must be a problem in the locker room or something. But I remember he used to play for the Bears, right?
Yeah, it was good.
I don't think he's a problem. I think all these teams just keep getting younger, faster backs, and they're like.
But dude, I remember there was a game. It was either Monday Night Football or a Sunday night game. He had like 3 touchdowns. He was looking like the guy in Chicago. Yeah. He was looking like he was going to be one of the top 5 running backs moving forward. Yeah. He had like a Le'Veon Bell swag, and then they cut him like pretty quickly after that. And I was like, "What's going on with him? What happened?"
They just they go younger. They keep going younger back.
The life expectancy, the career expectancy, let me say life. Career expectancy for running backs in the NFL.
Like 2 seasons.
I mean, unless you're the elite. I mean, you're not going to – these guys come in and they go. It's a tough position, and there's always guys who are quicker, better, faster coming in. And
we always talk about Jay Ajayi. Didn't he score 2 touchdowns in the fucking Super Bowl, and now he's not in the league?
Dude, he set an NFL record for 2 consecutive games with 200 yards. Nobody had ever done that before.
And now he's
gone.
Where is he?
Nobody cares.
He is a problem, though. I think we talked about it.
Yeah,
he is a problem.
With him, it was actually an issue. Let's talk about a couple of quick receivers you might want to target on waiver wire. Valdez-Scantling had another
game. If he's not available, there's no way he's available.
Available in our league.
Is he?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
I don't know.
He's scary because he catches like the ball twice and then he gets a 75-yard touchdown.
Yeah.
It's so scary.
He's a
Every time I play Marquez Valdez-Scantling, I've gotten 0 from him.
Absolutely.
It's hit or miss with him. That's why I don't like him. But if he hits, fuck.
He's out too.
He hit last week. He hit the week before. He's been hitting.
Don't count on it.
Who have you guys picked up from your waiver wires this year that like has really come through for you pretty solidly?
That's a really good question.
James Robinson has been super consistent for me.
Mm-hmm.
The starting running back for the Jacksonville Jaguars, undrafted rookie. I picked him up to basically replace McCaffrey when he went out, and he has been.
Where has he played?
Jacksonville. He's the Jaguars.
Right. Yeah. He's been.
James Robinson's been incredible.
He's been a stud. He's just been super consistent every week in, week out. I can't get anybody else to be consistent, but he's been.
He's been the best. Yeah, he's awesome.
He's been probably one of the number one waiver pickups of the any league.
For sure.
Who else? I don't know. Anybody else?
Higgins. T. Higgins been big. Took T. Higgins like halfway through the season, and he's been awesome too. That whole Bengals offense been kind of going up. AJ Green's kind of went down, and T. Higgins just shot up. He's been awesome. I don't know, hasn't been on your league, but he's been really good too.
I got Chase Claypool, and he has just been amazing.
Yeah.
He's phenomenal. He was one of those guys that I'm like, how is he possibly still available? You know, but when he came through, I was like, man, this is. I mean, he's been scoring 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah.
Well, you picked him up after that 5 TD game, right? And then I feel like
not even after the 5 TD game, because I figured that everybody would grab him. But then he had another game where he scored 2 or 3 touchdowns, and then he was still available. And then
No way. Someone must have dropped him.
Yeah, you picked him after that game. I'm pretty sure.
I did. Okay. Well, yeah, all upset. I dropped him for Jerry Jeudy, who was like doing okay.
You dropped him yourself.
No, I dropped Jerry Jeudy for Chase Claypool.
I picked him up.
Tough about those 10-team leagues. Like your bench, all of a sudden, it's like you don't want to get rid of Jerry Jeudy, but like with 10 teams, like there's only so many players. There's some good players on the wire still with 10 teams.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
There's always guys available. Yeah, that is something about.
And Jerry Jeudy was really not. He was a rookie and hadn't quite elevated yet. And Chase Claypool was all upside. So executive decision.
Speaking of other guys available that are available maybe in your league, but are available in our league that had good games, Darius Slayton had another pretty good, solid game. Jacoby Myers for the Patriots had a good game. I think he's been doing pretty well. Michael Pittman Jr. came back and had a nice game for the Colts. He might be their number one guy.
I picked him up in my 14-team league, so I can't take too much credit because 14-team leagues, you're allowed to kind of dig a little bit. But I picked him up. I didn't start him, obviously, but you knew that potential was there. They have draft capital in him, and they want to use him. Yeah, there's that many guys in terms. T.Y. Hilton's kind of evaporated, so there's really not many people left for the Colts.
Paris Campbell was supposed to be maybe their number one guy, and he's been out all year. So
and then there's also that other running back with the weird name that does the backflips. I can't number 21.
Oh, Naeem Hines.
And he scored I think 28 points. Right,
he's really good.
Huge game.
Rivers loves throwing to the running back.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Hines is still available in your league, pick him up for sure.
I got him.
You do, yeah.
But he also had I think he's had a couple games where he scored almost no points, and then
he's not a yards guy. He's another Burkhead. He puts them for TDs and catches. He'll catch in the backfield and get TD, but he's not for yards.
Sure.
Yeah, I think with Naeem Hines, you just have to kind of almost in a sense hope that the Colts are in a offensive type of game, tempo game, where he's himself throwing. If the defense is getting him up ahead and they have the lead, it's going to be a Jonathan Taylor Wilkins kind of game.
Yeah, Taylor has to have a bad game.
Yeah, but you're right. I think you're right about it has more to do with the game script and the flow of the game than anything else. They don't have a clear number one back right now that they're using.
Right.
It definitely depends on game flow. All right, so let's do. You guys want to do worst quarterback picks? This is always fun. All right. Anthony, you can play along. We actually have an inter-podcast competition going on for the whole season between the three of us. It's what we play DraftKings every week. Every Monday night we play DraftKings, which you're going to play against this week. And we also pick a worst quarterback, and we have point totals based on that. The winner of this competition, which will run all the way through the Super Bowl, is going to get to pick a henna tattoo for the loser to get in the middle of spring break. So that's what's at stake for these competitions. Right now, I'm losing. I'm down. I think, Lonnie, you're at 21. Vital, I think you're at 20. That might be reversed, and I'm at 16. So I need some.
Looks like I need to start browsing henna tattoo.
Right?
You need to not get ahead of yourself is what you need to do.
That's true. That's also true.
Because remember, these competitions go straight through the Super Bowl. And that includes my Super Bowl picks, which my Super Bowl picks are looking better than your Super Bowl picks right now.
Well, yeah, considering neither of my Super Bowl picks are making the Super Bowl, that's pretty,
We did have one of the same Super Bowl picks. Do you have Super Bowl picks, Terzo? Who do you got? What do you think's going to happen?
I can't remember who mine was. I said Chiefs for sure. I think Mahomes is the greatest, going to go down as the greatest player ever. So I said Chiefs. I think I said Chiefs Saints. I don't know if I had an NFC. I don't think the Saints are going to do it either. I think the Seahawks are going to do it. I think the Chiefs, Seahawks, Russell Wilson, Mahomes.
Really?
I think that'll be the Super Bowl this year.
Boy, I don't know, man. The Saints defense looks way legit, and the Seahawks defense looks god awful. So
They do look god awful.
That secondary.
They got to get rid of that defensive coordinator. They just traded for Carlos Dunlap. They're getting Jamal Adams back. Just came back this past week. Like those two players alone are two all-stars. Like they're going to have to make the defense better in itself, and they have a 6 schedule moving forward. So the defense they need to step up, or they don't stand a chance. But the NFC is going to be interesting. There's no really strong dog coming out of the NFC.
Right.
Yeah, everyone in the NFC has a bad loss, I think, at some point.
Yeah, 100%.
And the Saints, probably their bad loss hasn't happened recently. So they're probably the hottest team right now. But then with Breeze going out, who knows what's going to happen with Winston. So, all right. Speaking of Jameis Winston, I don't know if anybody's going to pick him this week, but let's look at this in terms of our worst QB. So week 11, let's see what we got. Nick Mullins was a really bad quarterback last week, but he's on a bye this week. Daniel Jones also on a bye and had a pretty good week last week. So what did we say before? We actually talked. I'm taking because I did the worst. I had the best QB last week, so the best worst QB. I'm going to take Jake Luton this week, who's Lonnie's guy. Give him the win.
Who are you taking? I'm sorry, I missed that.
I'm taking Jake Luton for the Jaguars.
Oh, yeah.
He was bad against the Packers, and this week he's got the Steelers, which that's a recipe for disaster.
Poor guy.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait to watch him. It's great. And I have the Steelers defense. So even better. Second pick, Vital. Who did you take again?
Joe Burrows, versus Washington. Washington's defense has done really well this season. I think they got a lot of momentum. I think Burrow's going to make some mistakes.
Okay.
Bold, I like it.
Burrow, he was pretty bad last week. Lonnie, did you look at this yet? Do you know who you want?
No, I haven't got a chance to look at the matchups. Can you read them off for me?
Yeah. I'll tell you some of the juicy matchups we have. Let's see. Don't want Herbert, Rodgers. I'm going to just skip a bunch of these guys.
You could just play it safe and just say Flacco.
Lost the week before.
Is Darnold still out?
Balled
He's not
out.
coming back in?
Yeah, they think Darnold's going to miss one more game.
Darnold is still out, but fucking Flacco, he's the reason I lost 2 weeks ago. These New York quarterbacks are just playing their own.
It's funny because you called them washed the week before, and I love that. He punished you for it.
All right. Carson Wentz sucks balls. He's playing the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
Let's see. So here's the tricky part one. And Anthony, this is one of our rules. If you pick a quarterback who doesn't start, you don't, and unless it's for COVID. But if it's somebody who's questionable to start for an injury reason, or if your guy, for instance, gets benched before the game, which happened to me this year with Dwayne Haskins, you get 0 points. They have to start the game to qualify for the contest. So Denver is in an interesting position right now. Denver's playing against the Dolphins. Dolphins defense is good. Drew Lock has a rib injury. Drew Lock is questionable to play. He may play, he may not play.
Who's playing for the Cowboys this week?
For the Cowboys.
It'll be Gilbert. Garrett Gilbert.
Yeah.
That's my pick. I don't even need to hear the rest.
Hey, he didn't play bad against the Steelers.
Yeah, don't fuck around. Don't sleep on him.
Wait. Is Gilbert's
Gilbert's the one who balled out in the Steelers.
He's better than Ben DiNucci.
That's right. That's what I'm thinking of. Okay, so keep reading.
So you're not going Gilbert because they're playing the Vikings.
They're playing the Vikings? Yeah, I definitely don't pick that then. Okay.
It doesn't matter.
So if you want to pick a Denver quarterback, you run the risk. But Denver's playing against Miami. Drew Lock is questionable, and then I think the next guy in mine might be Rippin. And Rippin was pretty bad, but that's still iffy right now. Who else we got? Foles is on a bye. Burrow. We talked about Alex Smith. Ryan Tannehill's playing the Ravens. I don't know if you want to go Tannehill, but the Ravens. Baker Mayfield against the Eagles.
I think Baker's not good.
I think Baker's not good also. He can't hit a moving target. He's just not. Yeah. Rivers against the Packers. We talked about Cam Newton against the Texans. Kirk Cousins against the Cowboys. I actually might use him as because I have Josh Allen on a bye in my Cousins league. Taysom Hill is not on the board. He does not count. He won't start anyway. It's going to be
no. It'll be Jameis.
It'll be Jameis, but he's going up against the Falcons. There's nobody else. That's all the starters right there, I think.
Gilbert.
You're going Gilbert.
Gilbert versus who are they playing again? The Vikings?
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck it. Whatever.
Gilbert, Vikings. All right.
It's the Cowboys. They'll let me down.
All right. Who you got, Terzo? You can pick anyone, really. But if you want to pick a different one, you can. But give us.
I was going to play it safe and say Flacco, but no one's going to. What about, I think Jared Goff. I think Jared Goff's not looking too high. I think Monday Night Football at Tampa, that Tampa defense, getting a couple players back. I think
that's not a bad pick.
You might play, and
I was going to say Lonnie. I didn't mention Goff.
No, I'm sticking with Gilbert.
You want to stay with Gilbert?
Yeah.
I think Goff's a pretty good pick.
Yeah, man. He's been making a lot of mistakes this season. Didn't the Dolphins expose him?
I am not a Jared Goff believer at all.
He had a really good freshman year.
Todd Gurley, bro. That was Todd Gurley. Carried the.
Was that his second year he balled out last year?
I think that was the year of the greatest game ever against the Chiefs, where they went.
Yeah, he was.
I could watch.
And he had Cooper Kupp, Brandon Cooks, Robert Woods. I mean, that team was unbelievably stacked.
Hey, he still got it to them. All right. I don't hear these excuses when it's Brady.
Goff is still pretty. I'm not going to defend Goff because he let me down this week. But he threw for over 300 yards. He's still a pretty good quarterback.
He's a big idiot. Do you remember the Hard Knocks with him where he didn't know East and West and he didn't know a lot of really basic shit? He's a big dummy.
I believe it.
Yeah.
If you live close to the ocean, there is no excuse for not knowing East and West or North and South, for that matter. If you for the people,
he didn't. It was something like he didn't know which direction the sun set and which direction the sun rised. It was something really dumb.
Yeah, how stupid.
If you're in California. I get it. I was lost when I visited Colorado. People are like, oh yeah, the mountains are blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't fucking know where I am right now. There's no body of water. I don't know. I'm lost.
We have a good reference point in Florida called the ocean. So really that gives us that cheat code. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Anywhere with an ocean, you should.
Let me tell you, when you go to California, it's a little disorienting that the ocean is on the wrong side.
Yeah.
It does take a little bit of getting used to.
You want to hear weird? I lived in Hawaii for 3 years. The ocean is always everywhere. It doesn't matter. You're always on the ocean. There's no directional assistance from the ocean at that point. You're on a small island.
Dude, that would fuck me up living in Hawaii. I don't know if I could do that.
It was fun. I loved it. I was there for 3 years, but I used to have to set my alarm to wake up to watch football in the morning.
Were you there when when they thought they were going to get nuclear bombed?
Yeah. I think.
Holy shit.
Or no, that might have been right after I left.
Okay. That was 2017.
Wasn't that a mistake in the system?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
I still have a bunch of friends.
What time did football start in Hawaii?
Well, it's a 6-hour time, 6 or 5. They don't do daylight savings. So it changes between 5 and 6 hour difference. So when it's a 6 hour difference, think about what it's like. What time is it here? 1 o'clock? So
1 o'clock.
7 in the morning, right?
Wow. That's nuts.
Is that math correct? I think it was, yeah. 7 in the morning, the game started. No, I used to literally have to set my alarm to wake up to watch the football games. But the cool thing is the bars there's at least a couple bars that showed football all day, but they had breakfast specials and would serve beer in the morning. They'd open up for football and it'd be packed. And you'd see jerseys from every different team you can imagine, because it's such a melting pot. There's so many people from all over the place. So you go to the bar and you'd see 20 different jerseys, all at people drinking their Bloody Marys, eating breakfast, watching football at 7:30 in the morning. It was fun. It was cool. And the late game, the nice thing was the late games. The late games are over by 5 o'clock.
Yeah, you're done. You got your whole day ahead of you still.
Yeah.
Here, we wake up and kind of lounge until 1, and then we're just committed to football the rest of the day. And
right.
In my opinion, West Coast time, because I lived in California for a little while too. West Coast time is the perfect football time because it's
10 o'clock.
You start at what?
10
o'clock, you start watching, which is great. I'm ready to watch football by 10. 10 o'clock rolls around, and I'm like, God damn it, I'm going to tinker with my lineups too much. I'm going to put Jared Goff in for some reason. 10 o'clock, I'm ready to watch football. I want to get going. And then, late game's over at 11 or whatever it is, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, it's nice. Speaking of the late game, you guys want to do? First of all, what do we need to win? Do you guys have any chances to win? We got somebody.
I already won.
You already won. Vital, you already lost.
Right.
Right.
Russell Wilson let me down.
Anthony, what do you need? Do you need anything to happen tonight to win any of your matchups, or is it all wrapped up for you?
It's all over. For me, yeah. There's no
There's no chance.
No, I didn't touch today's game. I think both these teams are pretty weird, and I tend to stay away from. Yeah, no way. I'm not touching it.
Well, I'll tell you what.
I lost yesterday, so it's also.
I have, and my season is on the brink in our Comedians League. I'm doing okay in other leagues, but this league, my season is on the brink. Tonight, if I can get over 27 points from Adam Thielen, I will win my matchup against Jay Guy. I will have. You're shaking your head, but let me tell you something, Vital. 3 times. He's done it 3 times this year already. This is a full PPR league, 6-point touchdowns. Thielen has scored as many points as I need 3 times.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't.
Adam Thielen games can happen. He does have Adam Thielen.
Oh, for sure. And it's a divisional game. It can happen.
It could stack the box against Dalvin Cook. Somebody should fucking stack the box against Dalvin Cook finally.
I know, really. I mean, somebody. Please.
I think he's going to be too hot, and they're going to feed it to Dalvin Cook again. I think he's too hot, bro.
The Bears have too much pride not to stack the box.
The Bears have imploded this season. They are not there, dude. You're crazy.
Their defense has been pretty decent, I think.
Not really.
I have a chance. And if Thielen comes through for me, by the way, I haven't won a game since the last time Thielen scored over 27 points. I need this to happen to make.
I'm hoping for you, but I don't believe in it. I'm hoping.
Me too.
For you.
That's also how I feel. Like you need a lot, but it could happen.
It could happen. It's one of those nights. It actually could happen. So I'm excited.
The only thing I can't say is that I'm up 3 points and he has Dalvin Cook.
Oh,
I think I'm done. Hopefully they stack that box, man. And
I don't know if they can stack it that much. I don't know if it's possible.
Yeah, just can't take it from the bench.
12. Bring 12 guys on the line. Yeah, 12 guys in the box. They'll be fine.
That's it. I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
We got one guy writing in. Claudio Jenkins says, "What's up, guys? What's up, Claudio? Thanks for watching. I don't know if you just started watching. If you did, you can watch the replay of the podcast after, which a lot of people have been doing overnight. And you can also watch our podcast. I'll give you the whole promo at the end. But if you have any questions, Claudio, we're about to go off air, so throw them at us real quick. Who do you guys got in tonight's game? Vikings or Bears?
Vikings.
Vikings.
Yeah.
All right. I'll take the Vikings as well because I need 2 touchdowns from Adam Thielen. I feel like usually it's just like with everybody else. If we all pick one team, but we're all on DraftKings tonight. So the only thing we share beforehand is the honor system. You can't change your picks. But who do you have? So we're doing the showdown captain mode. You saw that, Anthony? Where you pick a captain who gets 1.5 points?
Yeah, I'm ready. I already got my lineup ready. I was prepared.
Okay. Nice. All right. So who's your captain for tonight's game?
My captain is Anthony Miller. So I try to do someone like Cook or Robinson, but I found myself spending too much money on it. I think it's like double the price or something.
Yeah.
So I think when everyone goes one way and everyone's like, Allen Robinson's a lock, obviously, but even hearing Darnell Mooney kind of come out of nowhere, and that's when I go the other way and take a receiver. I think if they're going to do anything in this game, it's going to be through the air. One way they can be beat is the Vikings, is their defense isn't all that great. Mm-hmm. And I'm just hoping to have him capitalize because I have Dalvin Cook.
You don't have to tell us the rest of the guys. I mean, you can if you want.
To just captain? No, then this. Then I have Anthony Miller as my captain. That could totally backfire, but we'll see.
All right, I like it. Vital, who do you got for your captain?
I picked up Dalvin Cook for captain.
Yeah. Okay, he was expensive. Who did you pick?
20,000.
20,000.
Yeah, but I think he's going to get. I've seen too much. He's with that 50 burger on me.
Yeah.
Lonnie, who'd you pick? Dalvin? I took Kirk Cousins for my captain because I think they are going to load the box, and I'm also just still on that Thielen train that I just need.
You should have put Thielen as your captain if you're real.
I
bet it all on him.
I'm not that. I mean, I'm not that crazy.
This could be your uncut gems moment, bro.
I know.
Double parlay.
quadruple. Yeah. All right, but no, I think
6 ways.
I think Cousins is going to get it done. All right, cool. So last thing we like to do is promo any upcoming comedy shows. You got anything coming up, Anthony? You want to promo?
What we got? Well, we have your show, right?
Okay. You're on my show. Thursday night, Blue Jean Blues in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah, I was just talking around the scene, man. It had so many good reviews. They said the crowd was awesome. The place looks cool. The pictures look awesome.
Yeah.
I always like doing a new room, man, and seeing what it's about and what it brings, what the crowd is going to be, somebody different. So that's what we got going this week.
Thursday night, yeah. Yeah. Another stacked lineup. These guys both were on it last month.
Dope show.
And it's just
it was cool. That's all I've been hearing.
So much fun. Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that the buzz is good around it, and it's I'm excited that you're going to be on it. You have anything else coming up that you want to talk about too? When's the next Tin Roof show?
So we have one on the 30th. So we do it the last Monday of every month. Mm-hmm. We have Flip Schultz as our headliner.
Nice.
And then PMAC from Port St. Lucie as our feature. Next month, we should get you guys on, man. I don't think I've ever had any of you guys on yet.
I did it, I think right before, I think maybe last January.
Pre-COVID?
Yep, pre-COVID.
Yeah.
I did one.
Oh, yeah. We'll definitely get you guys on too, man. You got some better.
Yeah.
It's
a great room. I really enjoyed it. It's a good show.
I don't think I've done a show with you since Robot closed. I think we did I think we both featured on a show at Robot, but like maybe a year and a half ago, something like that.
I'm trying to think of how that was. I don't really remember.
So I got another show coming up actually after Thursday. On Saturday this week, also, I'm doing the American Legion show up in West Palm Beach with Dom Nessie. He's been doing that. I don't know how often he's doing the show, but I'm excited about that one. I forget the name of which one it is, but American Legion in West Palm Beach, Saturday, November 21st. Looking forward to that. Do you guys have anything else coming up? Any like podcasts you've been doing or anything else you want to promo coming up? Nothing big major. All right, cool. We did get one. Oh, last question. We got one right in. Thoughts on Christian McCaffrey for the rest of the season? Everybody got one thought on Christian McCaffrey?
Nick, did you send this question in? Like, let's show me this question.
Let's put it this way. If I were the coach of the Carolina Panthers, I am sitting. You've got no shot of the playoffs, but pretty much your season's basically done. If it were me, I'm resting Christian McCaffrey. I'm not going to put any more miles on him. Save him for next year. And I think that's probably what they're going to do.
No, I don't.
They're 2-7.
Anthony,
yeah, I don't think they're getting. I think they're resting him. What's the point?
3 wins, by the way, but they're 3-7. I think 3-7. Anyway,
3-7. Okay, and they've got the Bucks and the Saints in their division. They're done. Their season's over. There's no reason to waste McCaffrey. None.
Yeah. It's being a Christian McCaffrey owner. I think because I think Teddy Bridgewater hurt his knee a little bit. I don't know if it's anything too serious, but he's week to week, and I'm not necessarily ready to say they'll count him out the rest of the year. But if Teddy Bridgewater is out and PJ Walker, which is the backup quarterback, is out there, I think what Lonnie just said, then for sure they're not going to throw out Christian McCaffrey with some backup quarterback with a bad record. I think they'll just shut him down. Hoping not. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope but.
I don't think they will shut him down. I think they will let him. If he's healthy, I think they play him. And players want to play. He wants to play. There's a lot of other things involved in him playing. There's marketing for the team. There's just
his contract. I know he's going to want to play.
Exactly.
But if he's getting more than 10 touches a play, that coach needs 10 touches a game. That coach needs to get fired.
Well, there's another reason why he might play. I don't know their coach is pretty new, but they might be looking at the total number of wins. They might want to make a late season push to try to get some momentum going into next season. As a new coach, as a first-year coach for a team, you want to show progress. You want to show that your team is going somewhere good. And in order to do that, you need to have Christian McCaffrey on the field. So for those reasons, I think if he's healthy, he does play. You're not talking about Belichick, who's like established. This is a new coach for them. So
I would definitely keep him close. Don't get rid of him. Don't do anything like that. Because I think he's played 3 games, and it's been 25, 23, and like 35.
30
The
something.
3 games.
Yeah.
I mean,
If he's
crazy numbers.
if he's active, you got to play him. No question.
Yeah.
Put him in your lineup without.
Oh, one thing I want to mention: the Antonio Brown experiment looks to be fizzling. I don't think he's
You think so?
definitely not what we thought he was going to do.
There's still a lot of mouth to feed.
I disagree,
Of course.
man.
I mean, he's not putting
I
up
agree.
huge numbers. Like, I remember Nick saying he thought he was going to explode when he first came on.
I know.
Yeah,
I said
I
I
agree.
think he could eventually be that guy. I didn't say
Okay.
he's going to do it right away. And I
All right.
saw progress again this week. He made some Antonio Brown like catches. Yeah, there's a lot of mouths to feed. Agreed, Vital. I think he's getting better and more comfortable in that offense.
And he has a lot of good defenses to play against. I think they play against the Raiders, the Chiefs, Atlanta, dude. He has a lot of chances to ball out.
Sure.
I think he'll continue to develop more and more rapport with Brady, and I think by the end of the season, going into the playoffs, it's going to be a scary offense. If all 3 receivers are healthy and on the same page with Brady, that's going to be tough to stop. Who do you double? Who do you double cover? You can't double cover all 3 of them, right? There's just not that many guys on the field. So good luck single covering any one of those guys. It's just not going to work. All right. Lastly, for anybody who's watching, thank you for watching. You guys writing in, saying hi. We appreciate you. If you want to listen to us or watch us, the replay of this will be up overnight. Tomorrow morning, I'm going to post the edited version with our fancy music and intros and shit like that. You can watch us live on our YouTube channel, fantaCTE. Follow us on Facebook, the fantaCTE page, Facebook page. Like us, follow us. I post dumb memes and funny shit up there. And I also usually try to promote the podcast. I forgot to put something up this morning, and I had bad service today where I was. But also, we're available to listen. If you want to listen to our podcast, listen on Apple, Google, Overcast has been a popular one, Spotify, Pocket Casts, and Anchor, as well as a number of other sites. So you can listen to us, you can watch us, and thank you guys for everybody who listens and watches. We appreciate you all.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was really fun. Invite me back anytime. I'm more than happy to join. And good luck the rest of the way. And I'll see you guys.
Dude, nice talking to you, man.
man.
Good luck when your interview. I wonder if that girl's still out there.
An hour ago.
We should quit. Yeah.
Yep.